What's going on, guys? It's Picsoleated, and today we are looking at a pair of sneakers I'm not too sure about. There are some things I like about it, some things I can't get over, and some things I absolutely despise. But before we go over all of that, the sneaker we're looking at is, yes, you guessed it, probably because I have it in the title and the thumbnail. It's the infamous Yeezy 350 V2 in the black colorway, released on Friday, June 7th, 2019, also dubbed the V2 Pirate Black colorway. It was probably nicknamed that because it has the same red dots on the back heel tab as the original Pirate Black colorway on the V1 Yeezy 350 Boost of the same name. If you're familiar with Adidas' collaborative efforts with mega artist Kanye West, you're most likely aware that he's released the Yeezy 350 in similar colorways, namely the previously mentioned V1 version of the Yeezy 350 Boost of the same colorway, aka the Yeezy 350 Pirate Black. Then we had the Yeezy 350 V2 in the bread colorway, which was also an all-black Yeezy, but with the ever so popular SPLY 350 or Supply 350 text printed in red on it. Fun fact, that was probably the only 350 V2 with no stripe running through it at the time. And now we're on to the 350 V2 Black on the newly designed upper, similar to the regular V2 upper with asymmetric, multi-pattern patches running across and a supposedly translucent stripe. Now, although these released in a fairly large amount, the stock was very generous on these. They seem to have released to a ton of fanfare. For whatever reason, I can't guarantee, but we will discuss some possibilities later on. We'll get into that a little later, but before we get started, feel free to follow me on Instagram at Picsoleated, that's at Picsoleated, to join the pickheads and keep up to date with the sneakers and things before I upload them here. With that out of the way, let's get into the materials. Getting into the materials, my work is a little cut out for me because the entire shoe is practically black. Well, not entirely. The more I look at these, the more I get a black and gray vibe, just oozing out of them. The entire upper is black and is made of Adidas high-tech fused knit material, also known as its marketing name, Prime Knit. The entire upper has these patches that are asymmetric in nature and run in all different directions, as I mentioned earlier. You can see these side panels don't match the front or back and so on and so forth. Then there's what is supposed to be a transparent stripe running through the lateral side of the shoe. It has a plastic fabric feel, which is very unique on any sneaker or anything really, because it feels like an unbreakable stretchy plastic. At the same time, on previous shoes with this updated pattern, the stripe has this small portion in the center where you can actually almost see through to whatever color sock you're wearing, but on these it's not nearly apparent, if at all. I even tried to wear light socks, as you can see in the video, and nope, nothing. This is something I didn't expect at all. I figured a dark muted color like black would make it easier to see through the transparent window since there isn't much color to distract you, but in fact it seems to be doing the opposite. What are you good for, silly stripe? We have the signature raised crosshatch stitch running from the middle of the toe to the tongue portion of the shoe. The sock collar is all black piping. We finally see a hint of something not black on these shoes since the laces are speckled with 3M all throughout. They are rope laces and you can hypebeast lace these bad boys however you like. The heel of the shoe has a black pull tab with the infamous Pirate Black red dots running across it. We see the signature 3 stripes in all black 3M on the back of the all black heel. We have an all black insole with Adidas Yeezy branding. Here's the view under the insole for legit check purposes. Finally, we have an all black ribbed midsole. Yes, I said ribbed midsole, not ribbed con. And finally, an all black sole with the classic Yeezy grooves and a boost window to show off that cushy goodness. Now, like I said before, these shoes are meant to be all black, but the more you look at them, the more you realize they're kind of a light gray. And to be honest, I kind of like that. The top-down view of these shoes is actually really great. I'm not a big fan of how Yeezys have been looking recently. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just getting sick of the silhouette because I've seen it so often. Doesn't change the fact that they're a great shoe, but for now, I'm not really a fan of them. But the top-down view of Yeezy 350s always seems to impress me, and although I'm not a guy who always wears all black plain shoes, these do look great in that top-down view for me. I don't know if that's a very important factor in the purchasing decision for many people, but I figured I'd mention it in case it was. I know there's a few of you wacky folk out there just like me, and that's all there is to it, folks. Yep, it's as simple as that. When it comes to sizing, previously I've mentioned in the clays that I can see myself going true to size in them and they'll fit perfectly fine. Initially I was pressed to do the same for these, but for whatever reason they feel a bit more snug to me at true to size. It most likely was because of the thick socks I wore. I wore them to demonstrate just how well the supposedly transparent stripe would show through what sock I'm wearing, and clearly, or not clearly, it showed nothing. but the socks I had to wear are super thick, and it most likely is that's causing the shoe to feel a little too snug. Also, most prime knit shoes don't break in over time, but I have noticed that the Yeezy 350 V2s actually tend to break in a little bit. So I think if you want to wear thick socks with these, you might be better off going half a size up, but otherwise true to size has always been the way to go for me, and I'll most likely recommend the same for these. Just don't wear freaking wool socks until they break in. Then you're good. When it comes to comfort, there's not much else I can say to convince you just how great Boost is. I still stand by the comfort you get from Boost cushioning. These shoes have that soft shock absorption feel with the thick Boost unit layering the entire midsole. Of course, this shoe is lacking in heel support, and if you walk long enough in these, like anything over 4 hours plus, you'll start to feel the effects of this lack of support in the friction and fatigue your foot starts to feel around the heel. Super soft cushioning can also be overkill for your feet when going on even longer walks, so keep that in mind if you plan on using these for that. Now, I mentioned earlier these released in a pretty decent amount of stock and still sold out to much acclaim and fanfare, and with all the other recent Yeezy releases preceding these, which released in colors I personally think are better than these, I just can't seem to get around why these black V2s are much more coveted than, for example, the Clays, Hyperspace, or the True Forms. But I do have a few thoughts. My hypothesis is that they are an all-black Yeezy, and with the slew of nature-friendly, earth-toned colorways that released, this Yeezy is the one that is going to be easy to match with anything. The other possibility is that you can really dress an all-black shoe up or down, you can wear these with hype streetwear fits, or just a normie t-shirt, and they'll both look great with them. And that's really it. I can't really think of why else these would be considered so great other than those two reasons. Which, if you think about it, doesn't really make sense when looking at any other past releases. No one pays big money to buy an all-black Jordan 1. I mean, okay, there are some all-black Nike Off-White shoes that go for money, but they also have creative hits to them like orange tabs and stitched-on Nike swooshes and so on and so forth. There are always a few exceptions, but even for collaboration sneaker packs, if there's a black pair in the pack, it will often be the one that goes for the least money, with probably few exceptions, but that is why I don't truly understand the demand of these shoes. As I said earlier, there are a few things I like about this shoe, believe it or not. I like that it released in a large quantity so it gave more people the chance to get a pair. I like just how versatile they are. Most shoes don't look good in all black, at least to me, but these look great. You can wear them with anything, so that's a plus, and the new Yeezy 350 upper pattern is easily one of my favorites, if not my favorite 350 pattern to date. What I fail to understand is, what is the point of the stripe on the shoe if it's not going to show off that little square of sock I'm wearing underneath? Because as far as I can remember, one of the benefits of this updated upper was the transparent stripe, which was one of my favorite updates. I really don't understand why these are dubbed the Pirate Black. They really don't have much in common with the OG Pirate Black 350s other than the fact that they're black and have a black pull tab with red dots on it. The OG Pirate Black 350s had this very notable weird speckled pattern of gray specks, I guess, running through it. These don't have anything like that. But maybe it's not fair to say that two almost all black shoes don't have much in common. And finally, I don't really get the hype for this shoe. Seriously, I had to repeat it because I just don't understand. If someone can give me an answer, like a straight answer on this in the comments, that would be great. If you enjoyed the review, please hit that like and subscribe button and hit the bell to know when my next video is going to be out. What did you guys think about these? Are you buying them for resale, or did you buy them for retail? And is it your favorite Yeezy out thus far, or no? Let me know in the comments. Catch you later. Picsoleated runs a pirate ship.